Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but I'm back with an updated chip bag video. So let's start with designing. To design these chip bags, I use Canva. I go to canva.com on my computer, or if I'm using my phone, I download the Canva app. On the left side of your screen, you're going to click Create a Design. Then you're going to scroll down to Custom Size and change those units to inches. On the width, you want it to be 11 inches, and the height is going to be 8.5. That's landscape size of letter paper. Now we're going to create an overall template. Select elements on your left side and then type in square. You're going to click the square that's under shapes, and then you're going to resize it to the shape that you want. I just like to change it to a basic gray color, and I'm going to make it 8.5 inches tall, and the width of it is going to be 5.6 inches. Then you'll drag that rectangle to the center of your page. Next, we're going to select another square, change it to another color, or you can keep it that peach color. It's up to you. And we're going to make this one 11 inches wide by 0.8 inches tall. After you have one, you're going to duplicate it and drag it to the bottom of your paper. And this is going to be the overall template for your chip bag to help you design it. The theme I'm using for this chip bag is She's the Cherry on Top. It's a super cute theme. So I'm going to go to Elements and type in Cherry and find one that I like. I really like this first one, so I'm going to place that in the center, and then I'm going to find the background. So you can change the color of that rectangle if you want it to be a solid color, but I want the background to be checkered, and I want that checker pattern to fill the entire size of the chip bag. So I'm going to drag this checker pattern until it touches the top and the bottom of those border pieces, and then I'm going to drag it to the center. Once it's centered, I'm going to duplicate it and put it on the other side. Once you have your background, you're going to have to send it to the background. So you're going to click on those three dots, layer, and then send backward. You're going to do this for both pieces. This next part is optional, but I like to lower the transparency on the background while I'm designing so I can see my template through it. So I'm just going to lower it to about 50%, and I'll restore it back later. Now we're going back to Elements, and I'm typing in bows because I wanted a pretty bow border around the front of my chip bag. I found this one and I really like the way it looks, so I'm going to change the size of it and change the color to a dark burgundy color. When I added that bow border, it added another layer to my design, so I'm going to send that layer backwards so the cherry can be on top. Now I'm resizing that cherry to make room for my text. I'm going over to text and clicking on add a heading. I'm making 3 separate text boxes so I can be able to resize and change the font on each of these individually. The first one is She's the, then I'm going to make another one that says Cherry, and lastly I'm going to make one that says On Top. Now that I'm done with the front of the chip bag, I can restore the transparency of that background, so I'm going to bring it back up to 100. Now it's time to change the color and the font of our text. So you want to click on your text and then click on the font, and you're going to search for what you want. I already knew the one that I wanted, so I searched the name of it, and I'm going to do the same thing for the She's the and On Top. I really like this text right here. Now we'll change the color. You're going to click on your letter and click on the A with the colors under it and choose the color that you want. I wanted that cherry to be red, and I made the She's the and On Top this really pretty forest green color. Now we're going to design the borders. Just like the background, if you wanted it to be a solid color, you can just change the color of it, but I wanted there to be stripes. So I searched stripes under element and I found these pretty pink ones, and I changed the background to white. And once I did that, I just duplicated it and changed the size of it until it fit the size of those borders. Then I duplicated it and I added it to the bottom. After I finished adding these stripes, I wanted them to be a little bit smaller, so I went in and tweaked it a little bit to make them smaller. I always add a fake barcode to these to make them look more authentic. So I'll go over to Elements, type in barcode, just find one that I like. And then I'm going to add a background to it just so it stands out a little bit more. So you're going to go to Elements, type in shapes, and you're going to send that square to the back and change it to white. I ended up changing it to that cream color of the background a little bit later. I also add these birthday nutrition facts to it. I bought them on Etsy a couple years ago. So just search in birthday nutrition facts and I'm sure you'll find something like this. I also add that square background to this one as well so it stands out. I thought about stopping here, but I wanted to add a few more cherries. So I went to Elements, typed in cherries again, and I found this cute cherry pattern that I'm going to add on both sides of the chip bag. This is just going to be on the sides, which end up turning into the back of the chip bag once it's all assembled. This is the completed look of my chip bag, but I'm going to show you guys how to add the logo of the chip bag if you wanted to do that. I always go to Google and I search in the logo of the chip bag. And when you're looking at these, you want to make sure that the image that you're downloading is able to be downloaded. So if you see one that says WERP file, you're not going to be able to download that. Once you find a logo, you're going to right click on it and you're going to click on Save Image As. If it says JPEG image, then you're good to go. You're able to download it. To upload it to Canva, you're going to click on Uploads and then Upload File. After you've uploaded it, you're going to click on that image and it's going to automatically add to your design. If you have Canva Pro, then you're able to remove the background. So I just click on the background remover and it's going to take that white background off. If you don't have Canva Pro, then when you search for your image, you want to type in PNG. That should be the image without the background attached to it. Now that we're done, you want to click on share and then download. I like to make my download the highest quality, and then I download it as a PNG. Once it's downloaded to my computer, we're going to go ahead and print it out. Now I'm going to show you the settings that I use to print it. When you print it, you want to make sure that it's in landscape mode, and you also want to make sure that you change your paper type from plain paper to either photo paper or glossy paper. After that, you want to make sure you're printing at the highest quality, and then you're going to print it out. This is the paper that I use. I have it linked below. I prefer this paper because it's thin and it's not super thick like regular photo paper. The printer that I use is the Epson EcoTank 4700. I love all of the EcoTank series printers from Epson because you fill the tank with the ink instead of using cartridges, so my ink lasts for like 2 years. Now we're going to move on to the supplies. For the supplies, of course, you're going to use your photo paper. I showed you guys that before. Then we're going to need a paper crimper. I bought this one on Amazon. I also have it linked below, but any paper crimper will work. Next, you're going to need some pinking shears. I just got these. I think I got these on Amazon too, but you can find them at any craft store. Then, of course, you're going to need your handy dandy hot glue gun. And lastly, you're just going to need your chip bags and make sure that they're 1 ounce bags. This is what your paper should look like after printing. I like to let it sit for a second, even though this paper is anti-smear, just to be safe. Now let's put these chip bags together. The first step is to turn your paper around and you're going to fold your edges towards the center. Once it's folded, we're going to go ahead and crimp the chip bag. So I take my paper and I put it into the paper crimper, but I like to put it the back side up just because those little back pieces sometimes can get unaligned. So I crimp it up until the bottom of the border. And once it's done, this is what it looks like. It looks like a real chip bag. So after you've done the top of your chip bag, you're going to do the same process for the bottom of it. We're hitting the home stretch now, y'all. We're almost done. So you're going to take your chip bag and open it up. Now you're going to place your chips face down. It really doesn't matter how you place them. And then you're going to figure out which way you want your bag to fold. Once you do that, you're going to lay a bead of hot glue down the center and you're going to hold the bag closed until it cools off. After the bag is cooled off, we're going to glue the top and the bottom of our bag. I like to lay a bead of hot glue not at the edge of it, just kind of towards the middle of the border. So we're going to do that on the top and the bottom. After your bag is cooled down, you can stop right there if you wanted to, but I like to take it a step further by using my pinking shears to make the top and the bottom of the chip bag perforated. This is the reason why I don't use the glue on the edge of the chip bag, because I know I'm going to take these pinking shears to cut off those edges, and if the glue's too close to it, it won't stay closed. And after you've done that, you have a completed chip bag. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys think or if you have any questions. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.